That took us through about a 20-year run in the music. We locked in on a series under the Berry Gordy Motown. Within his organization, although he had all these famous people, Sam Cooke, all kinds of famous people came through him in Motown. So I was fine-tuned to listening to the background. We found out that the background was done by most of the recordings from all the famous people, that singers and entertainers that he had, was called the Funk Brothers, which was a very lucrative group of guys that could really play. I'd never heard anything like that before. So we started buying everything in town we could and doing the Motown movement as everybody else, and listening to them, and singers were learning how to sing with them, and we were trying to play it like they played. And it was very good. We learned a lot from just listening to them. Our style was the same as the Motown sound, and we brought that to Oxnard, the city of Oxnard and Ventura. After a while, the clubs were starting to reject us, although we were making them money, because they said that some of the other young men that was coming up the line with bands, we were taking jobs from them. So they put a stipulation on my band that said that we could not play in nightclubs within the area unless we could read chart music. I didn't understand that, nobody else did, but that was the way they shut us down from playing in a lot of the clubs. So I went back to Lindell, my mentor, and I told him about that. He said, well, we got to figure out another avenue. We actually kind of like went underground a little bit, and I stopped playing, my band stopped playing, and we tried to figure out how can we get around that. And one of the things that we had was, we said, well, let's call ourselves, while we do this research, we called ourselves the 3 Ps. And the 3 Ps was the 3 musicians, was Lindell Quarles, myself, and we picked up another guy that was in the area that just came in from out of New York, a drummer called Finley. And Finley went by the code name of Oakmeal. And we thought that was the greatest thing. He was a white guy that was out of New York, young guy that could play drums like you would not believe. So the 3 of us got together and we used ourselves going to different places trying to get jobs for my 10-piece band, which was the original Customs at that time. And the union said we could not play at some of these clubs, although the clubs were starving out a little bit for entertainment, so they just went on and hired us anyway. But we could not get the salary that we thought we should get. We came up and I said, well, my dad's in the military. As a CB on a CB basis. And maybe he can get me in to talk with somebody over there. So he introduced me to the entertainment director, military, at Point Wainimi is where he was. He was a CB. I met the young man that was there, and he was saying that they had some nice clubs on all 3 of the bases. And they were kind of like places guys would go and drink and have a good time and play games and end up tussling with each other a little bit. And that was their style of entertainment on the base. So I decided to ask them what would happen if we could get young ladies on the base to be able to go on in the clubs to dance with the young men, military guys. He says, that sounds like a great deal, but how will we sign them in? So they decided that they came up that if we could bring them to the gate, they would put a booth up there to where they could be invited in by the military soldiers, and they could take them to the clubs. That's what we did. The whole town, females, available, they would come to the base, they would sign them in, they would go to the clubs, and they would dance all night long, and we would perform for them with a band. And we had other groups that was come in with us and entertain them as well as, like comedians. Some of them were actually singing groups and stuff like that. So after that, Point Magoo in our military base got a little excited that says they think they would like to talk to us and do the same thing there. And at that time, they had the Oxnard Air Force Base in Camarillo. So we had all three bases signed us all up to bring the entertainment to the military. And it was quite a thing that when you had all three bases going with their night clubs, or the EM club they call it, or officers clubs, and they were getting the best of entertainment that Ventura County could actually provide for them. So it actually happened between about three well-known groups, which was myself, Lindell, and they had another group that came out of Santa Barbara that was very great. And the three of us rotated for a long time, and we didn't have to worry about the Union shutting us down or anything like that, because they couldn't get on the military base. That's an island within itself. So our career really took off, and we really did very well. From there, we went off and expanded from the club sets into doing special parties, birthday parties, different quinceañeras, and different things like that. I appreciate the church that I belong to, is Bethel AME Church of the city of Oxnard, and that keeps me grounded, keeping within the faith of understanding of, loving people and making each other grow. And I think we are doing very well at our church at that. I do sing in the men's choir at our church on the second Sunday of every month. And we have a nice little group that really entertains quite well. In fact, we look forward for it. So going back to our music, dealing with the song Because of Love, it was very deep, because it talks about finding someone and not caring too much about what other people thought about it one way or the other. And it kind of speaks for itself with its words. So if you get a chance to ever look at it, look up Because of Love by Buddy Gibson and the Original Customs. One thing I can say, our band members and ourselves was moving so fast on the local sets that we never really kept focus, and really was compensated for a lot of the recordings we did. But that was also part of the landscape at that time. Many musicians did not. And one thing I'd have to say is that trying to be a musician is not the easiest thing in the world. However, in the pattern of growing up and going through life, you also takes on other burdens, such as, I need to buy a car. I need to have money in my pocket in case my family gets sick. I got to pay for my light, gas, and water in my home. And I got to purchase a home called a house. So, when you look at all that expansion, it's quite a balancing game. But I think we all are going through that kind of thing sooner or later. So if you can get help from somebody that's been through it, you better hook up. Thank you.